Welcome everyone back to Road to Regionals, where we put together teams and test them at online BattleSpot doubles so that we may bring them to future events. Still bringing the same team. We have the Pixie Plate on the Sylveon. Hopefully, Scrafty, like I said in a previous episode, he can put in some work later in this week. Today being Friday, so hopefully he can start doing that sooner than later. Anyway, pretty much the same team, no other changes than the Pixie Plate on Sylveon, like I said earlier. I'm kind of disappointed in myself yesterday after watching that video going back to it. I definitely could have won the first battle so easily. I remember that I could have hyper-voiced helping hand on my Cresselia, whereas I went for the Tricker and Blaziken knocked it out. I could have went for the helping hand with the priority, got a hyper voice off into the Blaziken. Blaziken would have went down. Azumarill probably would have not gone down, but he would have been at the range where Landorus could have gotten the Rock Slide off later on in the battle and gotten the KO, and then all I had to do is get a Rock Slide off onto the Salamence, and the Salamence wouldn't have been able to KO with the hyper voice. But you know, that's why I like to post my losses so I can go back to see what I could do better. And I do have a huge weakness to water, but I have to play better in water. Water is becoming a little bit less prevalent than it has been in recent VGC. You know, this past year in 2015, it was really big with the Ludi Poly core, but it's getting less prevalent right now. But, you know, other than that, that's a long introduction. We're going to hop right on the ladder. Hopefully we have a rating of 1500 something. 1519, we're going to be sitting at a record of 6 and 5. Unfortunately, 2 disconnects. So we should be sitting at a ranking, a rating, or at least a record of 8 and 3. But then yet again, you can't really do anything about that. Let's put music, I think it's 7 or 8. Let's put 8 on. Doesn't really matter. I don't really have high volume on my headphones right now because I like to concentrate on the battle. I'm going to try to pay attention more because there's a lot of things that I do subconsciously by not paying attention, so paying attention would really help. And let me get my camera ready so I could take a picture of my opponent's team because, you know, kind of doing casual battles right now, getting a lot of information from these battles. But I would like to also record their team. In regular competitions, I would write their team down for future reference as well as their name. And when I'm practicing for regional competitions and premier events, I will be doing practices on my own and writing teams down. So BattleSpot taking a very, very, very long time to find an opponent right here. Hopefully, we do not run into the many disconnects that we have been in this past week. Early in the week after the maintenance on Monday night, we've been getting a lot of disconnects, and I actually had no disconnects whatsoever yesterday, and I did 3 battles yesterday. I'd like to do more battles on a daily basis, but unfortunately I don't have the time for it. Usually I record with this cartridge, and I'm working on another cartridge right now so that I can do some private battles on that and test the same teams out, as well as new teams that I may want to bring to events and feature in future videos, the Road to Regionals. But we could not find an opponent, so wait a bit and try again. So guys, I'm actually going to cut it off right here, and just give me 1 second and I'll come back once I find an opponent. So I'll catch you guys in a second. This is taking a while. This is taking a while. There we go. We're gonna find Alec from New Jersey, United States. Pretty local, 1627 ranking. I'm just a boy, so hopefully we can get a win against Alec. So good luck to Alec. He's going to be bringing a team of Salamence, Sylveon, Heatran, Thunder's Eye, the Swampert, and the Breloom. Now, we had problems with Breloom. A team that had Breloom on its team earlier in the week actually gave us our first loss on the battle spot for this season. So hopefully we can try to battle around that Breloom. Now, unless I did go check the speed afterwards, and this is getting absolutely insane. This is getting insane. I don't even know whether or not I get a loss for that because we didn't even start the battle. I knew I was going to get a communication error sooner or later, but this is getting absolutely insane. I really don't know what's going on. I don't know what I can do in order to prevent these disconnects. I did possibly everything. I posted on Nuggetbridge to see if anyone else was having these problems. They were. They gave me suggestions to do. I followed through with those suggestions, and I'm still getting the communication errors. So again, I really do apologize, guys. I have no control over this. So I'm gonna go in the next room. I'm gonna go reset my modem, and I'll be right back. And as soon as we find another player, we'll hop right back into this. I just hope I don't get a loss for that, because that's really stupid. We didn't even get into the battle, but 1 more second. Sorry. Be right back. I got a loss for that. You have got to be kidding me. Alright, so player from Tokyo, Japan, sitting at a ranking of 1595. He has a team of Kangaskhan, Gastrodon, the Tyranitar, the Rotom Heat. Ooh, we have the Talonflame on his team. I haven't seen that thing in so long. I'm actually excited to play against it. I hope he does bring it. I haven't played it in so long. And he has the Aegislash, the oh-so-threatening Aegislash. Okay, so, I don't have many fighting types on my team, so, fighting, nor do I have Kangaskhan on my team. So Aegislash, probably will be brought to counter my Sylveon, because my Sylveon presents such a huge threat to his team. I mean, yet, you know, we have 2 Pokemon that can resist, three Pokemon that can resist Hyper Voices, but yet again, it just presents such a threat, and it can get off very powerful Shadow Balls as well. He has the Tyranitar, so we're probably going to be seeing some type of Weather Words right here. I can only imagine he's going to bring his Tyranitar to counter my Sun with my Charizard, being the only Mega on my team. He could possibly have Mega Tyranitar, but very rare will you see that when you have a Mega Kangaskhan on your team. Anyway, we probably will be seeing the Tyranitar. Could possibly be seeing the Rotom Heat, considering the fact that it does have Levitate ability, so my Earthquakes won't be doing anything with my Landers. And it's just very bulky of a Pokemon, walling most of my Pokemon on my team. Now, will I want to bring Cresselia? Tyranitar hits it hard, Aegislash hits it hard, Kangaskhan hits it hard. Do I want to... I can get rid of Galewings. That is a thing. But I don't... Talonflame is just a very fast Pokemon to begin with. Now, who do I want to lead with here? I am thinking I want to lead with Landorus. Worst comes to worst, I can always just take Landorus out, preserve the Intimidate. I don't want to bring the Charizard in front. I don't want to bring the Cresselia in front as well. I could also threat with my Sylveon. Let's actually double Intimidate, bring the Sylveon in the back as well as the Charizard. I'm not even going to bring Cresselia right here. Cresselia doesn't present much offense to begin with, yet I can set up the Trick Room with Cresselia, but that's not the only reason why I'm going to bring Cresselia in this battle, is to set up the Trick Room. Could have brought it to get rid of the Parental Bond on the Kangaskhan, but I'm going to go ahead and fight around that. We want Scrafty to kind of put work in here, and I forgot to take a picture of his team. So Kangaskhan being the obvious lead. Kangaskhan usually does lead. Since Kangaskhan is leading right here, probably going to see a Fake Out come from the Kangaskhan. Not even going to go for a Fake Out with my Scrafty, because Kangaskhan could potentially Fake Out the Scrafty. Did get the double Intimidate. Now, if this is Expert Belt Gastrodon, which actually won a Premier Challenge, I do apologize, I forget who actually used Expert Belt Gastrodon, but I used Expert Belt Gastrodon building around the archetype that that gentleman had built. It actually did a lot of work, and if it's Expert Belt Ice Beam onto my Landorus, that's going to hurt a lot. So he could also go for the Fake Out into the Landorus, anticipating the Superpower. I could take Landorus out right here. He could also predict that and go for possibly a Scald onto that slot, anticipating the Charizard to come out. What I really want to do is, if he Fake Outs the Landorus right here, he's going to Fake Out into this Sylveon. Sylveon can take any hits that the Gastrodon wants to give it. I could protect the following turn, and I'm just going to go for a straight up Drain Punch onto the Kangaskhan right here. I'm going to go for the Drain Punch into the Kangaskhan because, I mean, if he Fake Outs the Scrafty, okay. Double Intimidated Kangaskhan. I'm going to bring my Sylveon right here to Fake Out into the Landorus slot. Really won't do much. So let's see how this turn wants to play itself out, and let's see what he wants to do if he actually does have the Fake Out. If he has the, we see the Protect from the Gastrodon. Don't know why he protected with the Gastrodon. There's not much I can do against the Gastrodon. We'll go for the Fake Out. That is a crit! That is an absolutely asinine crit. He's a double Intimidated Kangaskhan! That is insane! Well. Now, that is a double Intimidated Kangaskhan, and he did that much damage. This is definitely an Animate Nature Max attack Kangaskhan, I could tell you that much, and that Fake Out should have never have done that much damage. He's double Intimidated. Now, that is absolutely ridiculous. I wasn't expecting that much damage, but hopefully he does think that I am spec'd on my Sylveon. So I'm going to go ahead and protect my Sylveon. expecting the attack from the Kangaskhan to go straight into the Sylveon to clean up, probably expecting some type of move from this Gastrodon into the Scrafty slot, or potentially switching it out, anticipating either the protect or the knockout onto the Sylveon slot. I'm going to go for the Drain Punch onto the Kangaskhan. Thing is, does he switch it out, being, seeing that he is double intimidated? I'm going to go for the Drain Punch into the Kangaskhan slot. Safe plays. He will, man, I should have anticipated. I said he was just going to do that. I got to start playing, I got to start, using my gut in these battles. Yeah. Obvious. I mean, that was pretty much, a dead, whatever to begin with. But this is pretty interesting right now because my Sylveon will attack before this Aegislash. I could go for the Shadow Ball knockout into the Aegislash. The thing is, the Gastrodon could go for the Earth Power into the Sylveon slot, which should not knock out my Sylveon. And if the Aegislash does go for the King's Shield play right here, which would be smart. I mean, if I was him, I would go for the King Shield right away with my Aegislash, because Sylveon is a typical Pokemon that carries Shadow Ball. Obviously, Aegislash is the biggest threat right now. Just early on, I really want to go for the safe play. I'm going to double down into the Aegislash, anticipating the Flash Cannon into the Sylveon. Don't King Shield. If you're going to King Shield, aren't you? He's going to stance change. Is this Shadow Sneak? Flash, he's faster? Is that even a thing? What? What is going on? Is he life orbed? No, he's not even life orbed. Wow. Well. Regardless, I get rid of the Aegislash, but he gets rid of my Sylveon. Don't burn. I don't need a burn. This is so frustrating. How is that Aegislash faster than my Sylveon and my Scrafty? Well, that is, I don't know. I do not know. I don't know. Could probably bring the Kangaskhan back in here, but my Scrafty isn't doing anything right now. Really isn't doing anything. Okay, so do I bring in my Charizard, bring up the Sun, go for the Solar Beam? He could go for the Fake Out onto the Charizard, but I could also use the Protect as a front on my Charizard and then just go for the straight out attack. Think the position that I'm in right now, he has the Kangaskhan in the back. I kind of have to play like that because, granted, it's 3-on-3 right now, but I have a burnt Scrafty. And we've seen 2 Scalds this season, and both of them burned. And that's kind of ridiculous. That, honestly, is kind of ridiculous. Okay, so if he goes for the Fake Out, it's probably going to come out onto the Charizard. I think the Fake Out's going to come down on the Charizard, but he's got to think I'm going to protect the Fake Out away. So he goes into the Scrafty, doubles down into the Scrafty. But the Scrafty really isn't doing anything right now. He's burnt. So to me, I would actually go into the Charizard regardless if I'm going to protect or not. I do have the Super Fang onto the Scrafty, so I could Super Fang into the Gastrodon, considering the fact that it actually is pretty damn bulky. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to curse in these because, actually, younger audience might be watching, but I'm going to go for the Super Fang into the Gastrodon, and I'm going to go for, you know what? Charizard's actually going to attack faster than my Scrafty, so I shouldn't have went for the Super Fang. I should have went actually for the knockoff. Again, I have to start paying attention. But let's see if he actually does go for the Fake Out into the Charizard and possibly the Scald into the Charizard. Fake Out into the Scrafty? Nah, to the Charizard. I should have protected. Wow. You know what? I mean, if I was in his position, I would automatically assume that the Charizard would have protected. I mean, it's so incredibly obvious that I would protect the Fake Out away. But sometimes the obvious plays aren't the plays that you go for. I don't know. To be completely honest with you, I think players with a bit more experience would anticipate the Protect coming from the Charizard and go into the Scrafty, I would actually not even go for the fake out from that point on, and I would have went into the Scrafty, double down into the Scrafty just to get the hell out of the way. But now we're in a position where, does he go into the Charizard with the Kangaskhan? Scrafty is going to be still around. If I go with a Drain Punch into the Kangaskhan, I could get him down to at least 30%. A return, a double, I don't think a return would knock out, but I think a double edge would knock out. Let's go for... Let's go for Heat Wave in the sun and Drain Punch onto the Kangaskhan. The Kangaskhan should not have Protect. He switches out again. Is he using his Kangaskhan only for the Tyranitar? So, I mean, I'm going to get a Drain Punch off of the Tyranitar. It's still not going to do anything. But Heat Wave still is going to at least bring the Tyranitar down to at least 20%. Nope, not even doing that. This is really annoying. Crit. That is definitely a crit. Holy crap, is that a crit if I ever saw one. So this Skull is actually going to do a considerable amount of damage, and we're going to see an Earth Power. Okay, so targeting down a Scrafty, I would have definitely went into the Charizard, the position that he is in right now. Now, we're probably going to see a Rock Slide coming from the Landorus, but he possibly could... I led with my Landorus, so he knows I have the Landorus in the back. He's probably going to anticipate the Charizard switching out, going for an Ice Punch on the Charizard slot, which will not be received fairly well. So I'm actually considering protecting my Charizard right now and attacking with my Scrafty, because regardless whether or not he goes for the Rock Slide or the Ice Punch, I'm still going to protect damage away from the Charizard, but then the switch to the following turn would actually be really obvious. If I wasn't burnt right now, I'd be confident that the Drain Punch would knock out this Tyranitar, but I'm not very confident that it will do that because I'm burnt, unfortunately, unless I get another crit, which I can't see happening in my position. I should be faster than the Tyranitar with my Charizard. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and protect with the Charizard. Go for another Drain Punch. He's probably going to double down on his Scrafty. If he goes into the Charizard slot, you know, that's really good for me. He's going to go for a Rock Slide. Hopefully we don't see the flinch onto the Scrafty. If we don't, we're going to get a considerable Drain Punch down. At least I'm... Oh my god, it's so broken. It's broken. I'm sorry, everyone. It is broken. Rock Slide is broken. I cannot stand Rock Slide. It is so broken. Oh, I cannot stand losing matches because of fucking flinches. I'm sorry, young audience. It's really getting frustrating. They have to fix Rock Slide. I mean, it could still have a chance to flinch, but make it like a 10% chance to flinch. Have it a double, having it be a coverage move and having a 30% chance to flinch. It's unnecessary. It really is. There's no need for it. Alright, so... Lander should attack before the, Landers should... Let's go back here. What do I want to do with my Charizard? Obviously... Going for the single target, I really can't do much against the Gastrodon, because I can't get a Solar Beam off. So I should attack before. Oh, this could be Scarf. Yeah, it's Scarfed. Yep, it is Scarfed. Yep. If that Rock Slide came from critical hit on Landorus. Oh man, Rock Slide is so broken. It is ridiculously broken. The only way I could possibly win this is if my fucking opponent just disconnects. There's no way I can win this. And he probably... That's not even a crit, so probably Expert Belt Gastrodon. and Scarf Tar, because there's no way Tyranitar is attacking before a Landorus right there. So we're getting another loss, and I actually don't blame myself for that, because the game actually screwed us over so hard there. RNG is really not in our favor, let me tell you, everyone. RNG is not a big fan of us, okay? Not even considering the fact that getting disconnects are, you know, in the realm of RNG, but this is ridiculous. Our record and ranking is absolutely unnecessary right now. We should be doing so much better than this. But getting disconnects, we got burnt on our Scrafty. If our Scrafty wasn't burnt, we probably would have turned that around. Player from Texas, Michael. And we got flinched by a Rock Slide. If we didn't get flinched by the Rock Slide, would have got the Drain Punch off, potentially getting a crit. Could have followed it up with a Flamethrower. Oh man, it's just, I can't stand getting losses due to RNG. I really can't stand getting losses due to RNG. But then yet again, we brought Scrafty in the third match in a row and lost it. So Scrafty not pulling his weight at all. Anyway, we're facing Michael's team from the United States. Heatran, Suicune, Gardevoir, the Conkeldurr, the Thunderous Eye, and the Mamoswine. So it looks like it's like a makeshift Trick Room team slash Tailwind team. Could potentially be a Tailwind team, but he could set up the Trick Room when needed due to having the Conkeldurr, Mamoswine, and the Heatran. You know, now the Mamoswine could potentially be Focus Sashed or Choice Bandit or Scarf. There's a lot of potential for Mamoswine. We have to watch out for Mamoswine because we have Charizard on our team. So Charizard is not feeling too confident in this battle because of his own Heatran, the Suicune, the Thundurus, the Mamoswine, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much the entire other team will be giving Charizard a hard time, but it presents a lot of offense here. So hopefully we can go ahead and fight around that, but we gotta see who we like to lead right here. Probably going to lead either Suicune or Thundurus. Usually those are typical leads, and probably leading with the Mamoswine as well. Don't want to bring in my Landorus there or Charizard in the front. I could potentially bring in, how's Scrafty looking? I don't know, but this is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a really tough one. I'm going to bring the Sully in the front. I'm going to bring the Landorus in front. I really don't think I want to bring the Landorus in front. Let's go ahead and bring you, and bring you. Yeah, so let's go ahead and see how this match wants to play itself out. This is actually the second time I'm facing a Mamoswine. I've seen more Mamoswines than I've seen Bisharps, and usually Bisharps were always the one that gave me a problem in the past, regardless of who I brought on my team. I usually always have a hard time with Bisharp. Bisharp, Aegislash are two Pokemon that you really have to watch battling against, because both of them are very, very tricky. One gets Sucker Punch, the other gets Stance Change, and you got to pretty much predict your opponent from that point on. But we do see that Conkeldurr and the Mamoswine did predict the Mamoswine to lead, so not looking too bad right here. Conkeldurr probably going to go for a knockoff into, you know, probably both of my Pokemon. Again, didn't take a damn picture of his team. Probably going to bring the Heatran in right now. And unfortunately, I don't really have anything to combat that Heatran other than possibly Shadow Balling. But the position that I'm in right now, I could probably get off a Trick Room. Trying to think. If I get off a Trick Room, now the Conkeldurr might be slower than my Cresselia. I mean, my Sylveon, but potentially seeing the Heatran switch in right now. So what do I want to do right here? Actually, let's see how this wants to work itself out. Let's go for a Helping Hand Hyper Voice. See who's faster first of all. And if the Heatran, well, no one's switching out. So Iron Head, it's not going to be Stab. So I mean, it's going to bring me down to a considerable amount. Holy Christ, that does a lot. That is Bandit. That is a, oh my god, I cannot stand this. This is getting really ridiculous with these flinches. This is getting really disheartening. Okay, so wasted turn. I'm getting really frustrated now because I'm getting completely screwed over. Okay, so Mamoswine is Bandit. There is no way that Iron Head does that much damage without being a crit, and it wasn't a crit, so he is obviously Bandit. Getting really frustrated. This is really getting annoying. Really getting annoying. Alright, so who could we bring in the back here? He's going to go for an Iron Head onto that slot. We possibly could see a knockoff. We see a knockoff into the Sylveon slot. It's going to be really bad if I bring in my Charizard right there. For anyone, to be completely honest with you. So I could possibly... Oh, I don't even know what I want to do in this position. I really don't. This is really, really frustrating. Really frustrating. Let's go for a Trick Room. I really don't know what I want to do. I'm sorry, guys. This is really, really, really frustrating. But RNG is part of the game, so it's something you do have to expect. Let's go for the Trick Room right here. Gonna go for another knockoff into the Cresselia. Can't do anything about it. Alright. So, let's see what's going to go on from this point on. Now, the Conkeldurr will attack first, considering the fact that he is the slowest on the field. So, what I'm going to do is, in case the knockoff... I mean, I'm not really doing anything with Cresselia right here, unfortunately. I'm going to attack before the Mamoswine. It's probably going to end up protecting, but I'm going to get a Helping Hand Hyper Voice off into the Conkeldurr. But probably going to switch in the Heatran in the Conkeldurr spot. But with a Helping Hand... I will be able to get a considerable amount of damage off onto the Heatran. He's going to withdraw the Mamoswine. Does he pull a double switch right here? The Heatran's going to come in on that slot. I would have pulled out... Does the U protect? Do you protect Conkeldurr? Nope, he's not. Well, we got to see right here because it has a higher priority than protect. Just going to go for the straight up knockoff, sacking his Conkeldurr. And I actually hang on with 5 HP. That's really hilarious. So, that is a bulky Heatran. My Hyper Voice should have done way more damage than that. That is a one bulky-ass Heatran. Wow, that's a bulky Heatran. Okay, so, Gardevoir is going to come in right here. So, Sylveon's going to be attacking. I reveal the Protect, right? Let's see if I reveal the Protect. So, what I actually can do here is... Go for the Shadow Ball into the Gardevoir. Skill swap the Heatran's Flash Flyer away. Both of my Pokemon go down. I bring my Charizard in. I can Heat Wave the Heatran from that point on. And if the Mamoswine gets switched in, he's going to take super effective damage against a Heat Wave. So it's looking like that's how it's going to be. Yeah, that's looking like it's how it's going to be. So if everything works out, if this Heatran is... This Heatran's slower than my Cresselia, which actually could be a possibility. That prediction right there I just had goes down the drain. So hopefully the skill swap will go off into the Heatran. If it doesn't, I'm kind of screwed. The Heatran should not be slower than the Sylveon. So let's go ahead and go into the Gardevoir right there. Get some good damage off in the Gardevoir. The Gardevoir actually might protect right here. Heatran goes for the Heat Wave. I don't think the Heat Wave protect. The Heat Wave might not actually take out my Sylveon. So Shadow Ball coming into the Gardevoir. Skill swap, so I am slower than the Heatran, so it's good to know. So I'm going to get that skill swap from the Heatran. Can he knock out... Well, if he goes for he's not going to be able to knock me out if he goes for a Heat Wave. And he's not going to be able to knock me out. So my special attack is actually... Well, Fire type is going to go out. But can he knock me out with my Sylveon? No, he cannot. Ooh, this is very, very interesting now, because I will attack first now. That Gardevoir already had protected. Now, what do I go for right here? Is he going to switch out his Gardevoir into his Mamoswine to just put, to sack the Mamoswine? He can't Heat Wave my Cresselia right now, so he might go for the... He can go for the Earth Power now. And unfortunately, I gave Heatran, Levitate, but I knew I was going to do that before I even did it, so, okay, so what do we want to do right here? We have 30 seconds to choose. We have to start thinking this out thoroughly, because we have to use... This turn's going to determine the entire battle right here. Okay, okay, alright, okay. I'm going to do something risky right here. Does he switch out the Gardevoir? He does not switch out the Gardevoir. Gardevoir is going to be taking a lot of damage. And if he goes for a Hyper Voice, I'm going to skill swap his Hyper Voice. He's not... this is not going to be doing... Well, I mean, that's if he stays in, so... Alright, so I really couldn't do anything with my Cresselia. I mean, other than maybe Ice Beam right there. Hyper Voice is going to be coming out, but it's going to be doing normal type damage now. So he no longer has Pixelate. I can't put fire type attacks down on him, but that's okay. I can do a U-turn from my Landorus into his slot. So Flash Cannon's going to be coming out, so we can confirm that he has Flash Cannon. Let's bring in our Landorus right here, and let's bring in our Charizard. It's looking okay now. Okay, my matchup is looking all right. Can't Earthquake the Heatran now. No more Hyper Voice will be coming from the Gardevoir. Gardevoir is most likely going to switch out. Trick Room is still up. Trick Room is still up. So both of my Pokemon are probably faster than both of his. Both of my Pokemon are probably slower in the Trick Room, I mean. So I can't go for the Earthquake. I'm going to go for the Superpower onto the Heatran. Superpower onto the Heatran. Do I want to protect? Protect any possible damage. Shadow Ball. Protect the Psychic or Shadow Ball from the Gardevoir. I'm going to do it. I'm going to protect here. I'm not gonna put the Sun up in case he goes for the Heat Wave. I'm gonna protect with my Charizard. Gonna go for the Superpower. I am slower than the Heatran. Wow. Okay. Heatran's gonna go down right here. Does he go for a Psychic onto my Charizard? If he does, it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Psychic onto the Landorus. I could have gotten good. We're playing too conservative. Too conservative. Wow, that Gardevoir is faster than my Landorus. I cannot believe that. If I'd attacked right there with my Charizard, we'd be looking really good. Really good. Am I faster with my Charizard than the Mamoswine and the Gardevoir? I should. I really should be. Now I can just go for an Earthquake. But do I want to do that? I know this Gardevoir is faster than my Landorus. He can't KO me with a Psychic. He can't Hyper Voice. Probably going to see an Icicle Crash come out from the Mamoswine. What do I want to do here? Thing is, if I'm faster than the Mamoswine, I can go for a Rock Slide, fish for a flinch, but I don't like doing that. So I'm gonna go for an Earthquake. I'm gonna go for not super effective, but a stab Earthquake, Mega Evolve, go for a Heat Wave. Again, I said that multiple times that I should not be playing too conservatively, and what did I do? I protected with my Charizard, anticipating this Psychic. I should have just went for the attack. I had the potential to knock out the Gardevoir with Rock Slide. Okay, so not the worst things that actually could happen here. Should not knock out my Charizard. Hopefully we don't see the flinch come out. Into the Landorus. Does it knock out? Yes, it does. So we have to not flinch right here. But we have to get the single... the Flash Fire. Forgot about that. It doesn't even knock out the Mamoswine. So yet again, playing conservatively just backfires on us in the end. And he could miss this Rock Slide. But then yet again, Gardevoir has Flash Fire. Man. Oh man, just screwing around too much. Screwing around way too much. Okay, so I can't do anything right here. Obviously the Gardevoir is just gonna go for a Psychic, and we're gonna see a Rock Slide come out. Even if the Rock Slide misses, we're gonna get the Psychic. So let's just go for it. I should have, if I would remembered that he had the If I would remember that he had the Flash Fire, I went for the Flamethrower onto the Mamoswine, but Mamoswine probably had Focus Sash right there, so I shouldn't... I'm losing these battles when I should be winning them so easily, but Michael is going to take the win right there, and we really do got to pick our game up. This is absolutely getting insane. We're getting horrible RNG on our side in this video. RNG definitely deciding the first match. I lost that match due to RNG. I'm sorry, I blame the entire first match on RNG. I'm going to go back to watch these videos, obviously, and see what I did wrong. I'm sure I did things wrong, but RNG just completely screwed us over in the first match, giving us a flinch and the burn to determine the entire outcome of that game. The second game, I definitely could have played that a lot better. I forgot that I gave Flashfire to Gardevoir, so... at that point, Charizard really could have went for the Solar Beam onto the Gardevoir, probably wouldn't have KO'd. And what could I have done with the Landorus? I don't know. I'm going to go back and watch these videos, but that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. Not the best of videos, I do apologize, but then yet again, I do not like not posting my losses, because I can also have all of you guys give me feedback, as well as me watching these videos, and then just, you know, seeing what I could do better, obviously. But Scrafty obviously not pulling his weight in any of these videos, obviously. Every single time we brought him, we got a loss. Anyway, I'll catch you guys tomorrow with some more Pokemon VGC, and hopefully we pick it up a little bit. We should be. So, catch you guys tomorrow.